Hi, I'm Chloe Fontain, and you're watching The Buzz on DPTV Networks. Last week, a 3-year-old boy fell into a gorilla enclosure while on a trip to the Cincinnati Zoo with his mother. When the gorilla got aggressive towards the boy, park officials decided to shoot and kill the gorilla. Many took to the internet to express their feelings of anger towards this action. Some are even calling for the mother of the child to be responsible for the gorilla's death. I'm here in Union Square, and I want to find out what New Yorkers feel about the death of the endangered species, the silverback gorilla, Harambe. So, what are your feelings about the silverback gorilla being shot at the Cincinnati Zoo last week?
I'm actually pissed off at the mother. The mother of the child should have been watching her kid. You know, he's a wild animal. A gorilla is a wild animal. And you're going to have your kid in a zoo and not watch your kid, hold on to your kid, and just have him wander off. I see children just wandering off. They're behind their parents. Shouldn't you have like full view of your kids? There are people that snatch kids all the time. I feel bad that the gorilla was shot. He's a wild animal. He didn't even mean to harm the kid. You know, he was just trying to actually help, but of course he hurt him. Naturally, he's a wild animal. So I think I'm mad at the mother. I'm pissed off at the mother, and I feel bad that the kid is critically injured, and he didn't die, right? No. But I feel bad that the gorilla died. There you go. That's my opinion.
Do you think the mother should they should press charges against the mother?
Wow, that's a tough question. I would say yes. Watch your kid. Absolutely. You shot the gorilla dead. How much did that cost the zoo? You know? I mean, you shouldn't have to be instructed to watch your kid. You should just watch your child. That's it. There are people that kidnap children all the time. Children just go missing. That's why you have Amber Alerts now. You got to be careful. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
That's my opinion. Thank you.
Well, I think probably they overreacted. They were up just. I think they wouldn't have killed the animal anyway. That's what I feel.
Well, the gorilla started to drag the boy along the concrete and banging his head, so they felt that he was going to kill the boy.
Yeah, because if you look at first of all, you have to ask the parents, the mom, or whoever was in charge of the child, what happened. Someone was supposed to look after the child and see, and just keep an eye on that child before the child climbs, go over and fall inside. That's also the fault of the parents, because you can't go to an animal enclosures and leave the children unsupervised. So mostly I would blame the parents for not supervising the children. So the gorilla is dead now. That's an endangered animal, so that's a loss. You can get it back.
Do you think they should press charges against the mother? Because some people want that.
It's a big mistake, and what can you do? The gorilla is gone. Pressing charges is not the answer. It's just, I would believe that should be a lesson to other parents or maybe some other people. When you go to anywhere, you should be careful. Pressing charges, it won't bring the animal back. So there's no need for the government to press charges. I believe the parents have learned the lesson already. So it's left to other people to be careful next time and use that as a lesson. That's what I would say. Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. I would like to get your opinion on the gorilla that got shot last week.
Oh, the gorilla that got shot. I think that was pretty sad. But there was a child in danger. I would hate to think if that was my kid. So it's pretty unfortunate. It was a lose-lose situation. That's what I kind of feel like.
Do you think the parent is at fault for this?
I think the zoo's more so at fault. I don't think that there should have been access to the gorilla at any means. I think the zoo's more so responsible because, even if the parents were paying attention, the fact that he's able to access the gorillas makes me feel like the gorillas may be able to access me or, I don't think that's the safest thing.
Do you think they should have used tranquilizers instead of shooting the gorilla?
Tranquilizers may have irritated the gorilla. I don't know how he would react it, but I know that there are specialists that go out into these, cages and deal with these animals. I don't know why maybe they didn't send somebody like that out there first or I don't know. It was pretty scary. I don't know. I think it was very unfortunate.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.
It's sad, but, as a parent, if you see your child in that type of predicament, you just never know what that gorilla is going to do to your child, I mean, we're living in a world of, it's just hard because what do? Save your child or save the gorilla? What's more important at the end of the day? And of course, it's the child that the Lord blessed you with, you know? It is unfortunate. I don't condone animals getting hurt like that, but I know if it was my child, you don't know what these gorillas are gonna do. And it did look like the gorilla was trying to protect him, but at the heat of the moment, anything could have went, you know? So
A lot of people are thinking the mother is at fault for not taking better care of her child, for not watching the child.
I agree to that as well, especially in that type of area. You just need to, just like we're here right now in Union Square. It's a lot of people, a lot of out and about, a lot of shuffle and buffle. You need to always hold on to your kids, and especially when you have kids, you have to have like 20 eyes with them. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Bye bye.
I'd like to get your opinion on the gorilla that got shot at the Cincinnati Zoo last week.
Oh yeah. I don't know what. I guess. I mean, I don't really know. Like, I want to say the parent, but also there were so many other people there that or she was with so many other kids that I can't blame her for not having her eye on that kid the whole time. But also, I mean, was it really necessary to shoot that gorilla? Like, I personally don't think it was. But also, it's a huge gorilla and a young child, so I don't know. I guess the real ethical question is whose life matters more, and who do we put more value on? And I personally would say the gorilla because people are bad and animals have better intentions than we do. But I don't know. That's just me.
Okay, do you think the mom should be at fault for this?
I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to put her in prison or put her through trial because she, I don't know, didn't keep her eye on the kid for that. I mean, I don't know. It was an accident. It was truly an accident, I believe. And I don't think that they should press criminal charges against her. Maybe if they do an investigation and something more comes up, or that I don't know, maybe she was just truly a negligent parent, then maybe. But at that situation, from what I know, I don't think so. I don't think she was at fault.
I would like to get your opinion on the gorilla that got shot at the Cincinnati Zoo last week, the little boy that fell into the gorilla cage. I
just think it's sad. I mean, the mother should have been really watching the child, and I don't think they. I guess it was the last result that they had to shoot the gorilla, but I don't know. Like, it was just unfortunate. It was sad. I'm glad the little boy is okay and stuff like that, but I think the mother, definitely should have been watching the child.
The parents are at fault because they should have watched them. But I think they're putting too much on it. Like, the gorilla got shot and killed. There's other kids who fell into gorilla pits and stuff. Did they look for their parents? Did they say that their parents were at fault? Did they, And then we have so much other stuff that's going on. We have unarmed black men that are getting killed all the time. Was there any outrage? He's an animal. He's a gorilla. And he was like 17. So if we're going to look to press charges against the mother, I think we should look to press charges against other people too, who kill unarmed black men, because they're more important than the gorilla was. So I don't know. I think the gorilla thing is just so ridiculous. It's just too much.
Do you feel people are placing more importance on the life of the animal than on humans?
They are, because even with the little boy, I'm pretty sure the little boy, nobody's asking about the little boy. Is he okay? No, they're still worried about the gorilla, right? Pretty sure the little boy is scared still to this day. He probably never wants to see another animal again in his life. And there's a lot of other kids who fell into gorilla pits and they've never went after the family. I heard that they pulled up the father's criminal history. Why? What did that have to do with anything? Nothing, right? So, yeah, I do. I think they're doing too much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I would like to know your opinions about the gorilla that got shot in Cincinnati last week.
I don't know too much about that story, so I'm sorry I can't comment. Okay. So what I witnessed when I saw on the camera, it looked like the gorilla was not hurting the child, but treating the child like a baby gorilla. And so, the child shouldn't have gotten into the thing, but I'm really wondering if there was another way, that they could have saved both.
Some are wondering if they should have just used tranquilizers on the gorilla instead.
Right. But I heard that was going to take 20 minutes, and they were worried that the child would be in jeopardy. But I really saw it looked like somebody taking care of a baby, in their way, a gorilla way, standing it up, checking its butt, pulling it along. I mean, it's like what a gorilla would do. So
Okay, that's
that
the
was.
one. And I saw it too. I thought it was a different incident. Yes, I'm pretty much feel the same way. To me, it looked like the gorilla was curious, and it was kind of playing with the child. I don't remember seeing the child crying, but I think they could have done a different way. They did not need to be shot. It was the gorilla was being a gorilla. He wasn't being cruel or out to kill the little child.
And it was in the water for 4 minutes with the gorilla and didn't drown. I mean, you can drown pretty darn quick. So it's like, I think they could have done the tranquilizer. I really do.
Yeah, I also think maybe they were stressed out because of the mother. So maybe they felt that they had to do something. It was immediate,
And I've had 2 boys, and let me tell you, they are hard to keep track of. So I'm not in judgment of her if she was right there with the child. Now, if she was 10 feet away, that's on her. But if she was right there with the child and he got over, I totally understand. Boys will be boys. But they should have had it higher. They shouldn't have had it, only 3 feet. Anybody could fall over 3 feet. You could lose your balance. You could, the zoo is at fault for that.
I mean, I knew it in my heart that the child was going to be okay, and I felt sad for the gorilla. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, guys. I would like to know your opinion about the gorilla that got shot in the Cincinnati Zoo last week. The Cincinnati Zoo last week, a little boy went into the gorilla enclosure, and they shot the gorilla. How do you feel about that?
I don't think the gorilla should be shot, but
I think anyone's at fault, really, are they? I mean, it's just a horrible accident. No one really should.
well, I mean, yeah, if you're not watching the kid, but also I get where the zoo's coming from. They have to act fast, but I just don't think any animals should be shot. It's like I don't believe any person should be killed for a crime. I think they should live out their sentence and pay for what they've done, but that's just me.
I don't think it's anyone's fault. No one should shoulder the blame, really. Horrible accident. Shame gorilla had to die, but
Some people are asking for them to press charges on the mother for the death of the gorilla.
yeah, it's a bit of a stretch, really, isn't it? Personally, I mean, she didn't. She took her wife a kid for 1 minute. I mean, I know plenty of people that don't watch their kids 24/7. Arguably, they didn't do it around a gorilla, but.
Do you guys have a moment? I'd like to get your opinion about the gorilla that got shot in the zoo last week when the boy went in the enclosure.
I don't know what happened. Tell me what happened.
The little boy went over and fell into the gorilla enclosure, and then when the gorilla got aggressive towards him, the park officials decided to shoot and kill the gorilla. Now people are in uproar because the gorilla got shot. He's an endangered species. They're like they could have tranquilized him instead, but the park officials are saying that shooting him was the only way to save the boy.
Well, I mean, what I believe is we shouldn't kill anything. So someone should have had a talk with the gorilla and just, sat down, said, please don't kill this boy. Maybe the gorilla would have listened.
I think that they should have wounded him with a dot gun. They should have dot guns around there or to put him to sleep. That way, like they do when they catch him. So they would put him to sleep, he would let the boy go, and everything would have been everything. Then you could have got the mother, because she was responsible.
I mean, the other thing is people don't realize that gorillas are like the strongest mammal, but they're also very gentle, They're really beautiful animals. So, I mean, I don't know, man. It's sad to see, them killing a gorilla, But at the same time, that's a boy, and I don't want him to, no one wants him to get killed either. But you know what? You don't want to put one life ahead of another, Like in this world, we should try to focus on not just killing as the first instinct, because then that makes us animals and people are no different, really. I mean, we did the same thing the gorilla would have done.
They shouldn't have acted so fast, too, and shooting the gorilla. They should, just like I said, use a dot gun like they catch them. They should have them at the zoo, where as though they can shoot things. Same way they catch them. wouldn't have been no problem.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, hi, Mom, and love your neighbor as yourself, people.
I would like to get your views about the gorilla that got shot in the Cincinnati Zoo last week. How do you feel about that?
I didn't really pay attention to it, to be honest.
Well,
I feel it got blown out of proportion because although it's sad that the gorilla died, at the same time, I don't know if this is true, but it said the tranquilizer wouldn't work. So in that case, what else can you do? Because if the child were to die, then they would have been demonizing the mother. But it's like, I don't know, the whole thing got blown out of proportion. It's sad on both sides. Both people have good points in the end, in my opinion. And
do you think they should press charges against the mother for the death of the gorilla?
no, I don't think they should, because thing with kids, they're all fast. They move fast. Like, you can be the greatest parent in the world, but you look away for a split second and your kid is gone. So you have to pay close attention to the kids. She made a mistake, but we all make mistakes, even if you're the best person in the world. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
I was also going to say, technically, they should have had it prepared already to make it child safety. So it's kind of their fault in a way.
Okay, thank you.
That's all I have to say.
I would like your opinion about the gorilla that got shot at the Cincinnati Zoo last week.
They shouldn't have shot him.
Do you feel that they should have tranquilized him?
Yes, absolutely.
Do you feel that the mother is at fault for this?
Absolutely.
Should they press charges against the mother?
Well, I don't know pressing charges, but she should, take care of her kid a little bit better than that. Especially if he said that he wanted to go see the gorilla. That's a red flag. Hold your kid. And if your kid has issues, strap him. Do something. But I believe the parent was at fault.
Okay, thank you.
Okay? And my name is Mercedes.
I would like to get your opinion about the gorilla that got shot last week in the Cincinnati Zoo.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Last week, a gorilla got shot in the Cincinnati Zoo.
The gorilla. I believe it's the negligence of the mother. Because if it wasn't for her and her negligence, they wouldn't have shot the gorilla.
Do you feel that they should press charges against the mother?
No. I mean, what kind of charges they're going to try to charge? Try to press against her.
Well, because the gorilla died, he's an endangered species. If she was watching her child, then that wouldn't have happened.
I mean, it depends. Like, if you're just going off for the simple fact that she just wasn't watching her, like, what was she doing for the fact that she wasn't watching her? What, was she on a cell phone, or did she just stop for 1 second and the kid just pulled away from her and just jumped inside of a gorilla cage? Who knows what happens?
Yeah, she was watching a bunch of other kids, and the boy walked away for a moment.
I mean, if that's the case, then she shouldn't be charged. It's just a simple mistake. She just have to be more careful next time.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
I would like to know your opinions about the girl that got shot last week in the Cincinnati Zoo.
Of course, they should have used stun gun or anesthesia. And if they don't have it, I think they're under investigation. That's the last information that I saw, that they're investigating the zoo operation.
Well, they were scared that if they did use the tranquilizers, it wouldn't kick in time to save them.
I read that too, still, I thought, I can't say people are not endangered, but having an endangered gorilla, and I think also I think what they were investigating, what I read was a little bit part of how that the cage was made. And maybe it wasn't really safe enough. And, of course, you can blame the parents too, but they didn't stop. And how hard to stop 3 years old climbing over, that's I would say too. But I didn't like that when they killed it. There's no choice, no other choice, and they should think about that. Yeah.
A lot of people are saying that the mother is at fault and they should press charges against the mother for this.
I would say yes, that's true. That's what I said. Irresponsible, taking a kid out and climbing over. And what I heard or I read was not heard, but kid kept saying, "I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna go in there." So 3 or 4 years old, how hard to drag the kid out from the cage, away from the cage, away from the fence? That's what I thought. That's a mother's responsibility too, but I don't want to blame victims' parts always. In many cases, Yeah, and then I think what the zoo did, I didn't like it. But of course, we don't know all the things. And the first BBC said when the gorilla was dragging the kid on the ground or the moat, it was so disturbing. So we're not showing that part. That's what I saw first. But then on the internet showed that part. It didn't seem that bad on the water. And the first, sometimes the gorilla was pretty gentle to the kid. And there was an incident a long time ago. The kid fell into the thing, and the gorilla or some animal helped the kid and helped to save the kid. And so we don't know what he was thinking. And it's a sad thing. And also, I don't like zoos to start with in general. I don't go there. We went to Africa. That's okay, but soon now it's becoming a zoo. Or Kenya is a zoo. Leave them alone. I'll give them money so they can live in their natural lives. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I mean, it's really a tragedy that they shot it. And actually, I think the responsibility really lies on the family for not being able to control their kids. The zoo itself kind of had to do what it did. I think it was maybe a bad decision. They could have used a tranquilizing dart the way that gorilla was behaving. 2 or 3 minutes of slowing down wouldn't have hurt. So I have a lot of sympathy for the zookeepers because they're under a tremendous amount of pressure from the public. Trying to keep the animals healthy and happy is a really tough job for zookeepers, but no, they shouldn't have shot it. They should have used a tranquilizing dart, and really they need to do something about the controlling the children.
You feel that the mother's at fault because she wasn't watching her son?
Yes, I think it's the parents' responsibility either to watch their children or to make them understand that they can't just run everywhere. I mean, that's the parents' responsibility. And if they teach their kids they can do whatever they want when they're 3 years old, they're going to be 20 and they're going to end up like Donald Trump. And we don't need more Donald Trumps.
If they're going to press charges, they should have certain safety. It should have been safe so the child wouldn't be able to fall into where the gorilla was. I don't think that the parents should be accountable on that level. Like the zoo should be accountable on having a certain type of safety for the child will not fall inside where the gorilla's at. If the child falls where the gorilla's at, it's not safe. I just don't feel like it's safe, and that the parents shouldn't be held accountable. No, a little bit, but not to the point where watch your child, but come on. Why isn't it so the child will not fall into it? Why is it? I don't know how it was set up, so I can't really explain the whole thing. But how did the child fall into it? How? Like, I don't understand that part.
Yeah, it was open enough for the boy to get in there, and some people are upset at that. But people are saying that if the mom was holding on to the boy or watching the boy, that wouldn't happen. He's 3 years old.
Oh, yeah, the mother should have been watching the kid. And kids happen to wander off sometime, Make sure that it's safe enough for the child not to. It's a zoo, and it's a gorilla. It's a gorilla. Make sure that it's close enough for the child not to get in there. Things happen. Kids wander off, Kids wander off. Things happen. Kids are going to be kids.
The 3-year-old boy jumped into the gorilla enclosure, and his safety, they were trying to save him, so they shot the gorilla. So now everyone's upset that the gorilla's dead. We just wanted to get your opinions on that.
I mean, I suppose the life of a 3-year-old boy is much more important than the gorilla, so I think they did the right thing, honestly.
Well, people are upset because he was an endangered species, and they're saying, like, oh, he was 17 years old, they should have saved his life, they could have done something else.
I mean, what else can you do if a gorilla is attacking a 3-year-old boy? He cannot defend himself. For me, it's no debate on that. They did the right thing, and period. It's honest. I wish they didn't have to get to that point, but if you've seen the situation, there's nothing else you can do. I mean, there's no debate for me, as I said.
Some are saying that the mother is at fault for not watching her child. Do you believe that?
I don't know. Sometimes, when you have kids, you cannot be, watching like every second. I'm pretty sure that the mother would be so scared that she would never forget the moment, and I'm pretty sure that she made everything she could do. I mean, no one wants to see her child in that situation. I'm pretty sure she just didn't see it coming.
Thank you so much. Hey guys, do you have a moment? I wanted to get your opinion about the gorilla that got shot in the zoo last week, in the Cincinnati Zoo.
I didn't hear about it.
Yeah, I'm not very familiar with that one.
A little boy got into the gorilla enclosure.
Oh, that one. Okay.
And then they shot the gorilla, and he's an endangered species, and now everyone's upset. Do you feel that the parents are at fault for this?
Seeing both sides is kind of hard. I mean, there's a whole debate about when you're a parent, you can not watch them for a few seconds, they fall in. So I'm kind of in the middle right now.
People want to press charges on the mother for the death of the gorilla. What do you think about that?
I think it's probably too much. I mean, I'm sure they're loving parents. I think there was a post about her on Facebook that said, she's a good parent. All her friends would say so, but she just turned around for a few seconds and the little boy disappeared. So I'm not sure if the charges kind of are appropriate, but, do you have anything to say?
Nope. Thank you. Hi, sir. Do you have a moment? I'd like to get your views about the gorilla that got shot in the Cincinnati Zoo last week when the boy got into the enclosure. Who got shot? A silverback gorilla got shot at the Cincinnati Zoo last week.
No way.
Do you think that the boy's parents are at fault for the boy getting in there?
Look, I really have no idea. It's a shame that gorilla got shot, though. Like, that's bad. Like, what happened to the kid?
He was injured, but they had to shoot and kill the gorilla to ensure that the boy lived.
Oh, whoa. Well, I don't know. I can't imagine it's the parents' fault. I mean, how old was the child?
3 years old.
3 years old? I can't imagine that's the parents' fault. I mean, how would you get into the enclosure if you're 3 years old? Like, it's got to be the zoo's fault, right?